everybody? Welcome back to another Armor of God lifestyle video. Today's video we're going to talk about 3 things to keep in mind when you discuss politics as a Christian. Now, I would just ask that you subscribe to the channel, like our content, and share our content because that's the easiest thing you can do to help us grow. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so all 3 of these things that I'm going to discuss today are in one verse in the Bible. Just one. One verse that you need to keep in mind to be able to discuss politics with anybody, and especially somebody that is not a Christian. So first I'm going to go over those 3 things that I found in that verse, and then we're going to talk about exactly which verse that is. Alright, so the very first thing that you need to keep in mind when discussing politics as a Christian is that you need to be quick to listen, quick to hear what that person has to say. And why do you need to do this? Because if you are not willing to hear what they have to say, they are not going to be willing to hear what you have to say. Alright, so the second thing that we need to do when we are discussing politics with somebody is be slow to speak. Why do we need to be slow to speak? Because if we are quick with our tongue, sometimes we say things just to be offensive. Sometimes we say things just because we know that's what's going to make them mad, especially when talking about hot button topics like, let's say, gay marriage or abortion. A lot of times it's very easy just to say things like, well, you're being sinful, well, you're just wrong, and well, you're just not right, and you should just listen to me so that you're not offending God or making God angry. All these things some people say even though they're not at all right. So we need to be slow to speak. We need to be calculated in how we speak to somebody, because sometimes if we make that person offended right off the bat and we just say something that will just make them angry, and we know that it's going to make them angry, they're not going to be willing to listen to anything that we have to say. Alright, so the third and final thing that I want to talk about today may be one of the hardest things for some Christians to do, and that is to be slow to wrath or slow to anger. Now this one is very important because the first 2 are pretty much impossible without listening to the third thing. We cannot be quick to listen if we're mad. We cannot be slow to speak if we're angry. Oftentimes if we become angry, both of these things go out the window and we begin ruining any kind of reputation or any kind of rapport we have with the person we're speaking to. If we become easily offended and just quick to anger, then we oftentimes ruin any opportunity we have of speaking to that person in the future. Alright, so if you haven't figured it out by now, we are in James chapter 1 and verse 19. So let's go ahead and read that for you, and then I'm going to tell you why this verse is so important to me. So, James 1:19 says, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath." Now, why this is so important to me, because if we don't follow this, more than likely what we're going to do is ruin any future opportunities to share the gospel and share our witness with the person we're talking to. And to me, no political argument in this world is worth ruining my opportunity to get somebody else saved. Alright, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so already, I just ask that you like, subscribe to the channel. That way we can grow even more. Once again, keep on the full armor of God, and I hope you have a blessed day.